What are your thoughts on team houses and the positives and negatives of moving into one of those?
I mean, team houses are a little bit weird to me because I come from FPS games where team houses in Counter-Strike, for example, I mean, how common are they in like a game like CSGO compared to a game like League of Legends? I think it's a little bit different because the average player of an FPS game like Overwatch, in its current state at least, where a lot of them are beta players or old school FPS players, we're just like more older for the most part, and so having everyone pack up their lives, go to a team house is almost like a lot of people want to do it, but then there's a lot of people who don't want to do it because they don't want to uproot themselves and move away from family, girlfriends, stuff like that. And so team houses are always weird. I think the best compromise is exactly what you mentioned with Team Envious, which is team apartments. So that way people have their privacy, kind of just to relax with each other, because there's lots of conflicts that can happen. I mean, you can love working with someone, but if you live with them and then work with them literally every day in and out, you're gonna like start hating each other. I mean, it's pretty common, it happens to everyone. So I don't know, there's always pros and cons to team houses.
We're gonna get the gaming on soon, so I'm just looking forward to that. It's so much easier, as I said before, like it's so much easier to criticize each other, like go through strats, like do VOD review and so on when you are actually sitting next to each other, and like you can do all of these things in person that you cannot do over TeamSpeak. You don't know if everybody's like paying as much attention, like over TeamSpeak and so on, and it's easier to like criticize someone like face to face and like say like you're doing this wrong, you can do this right and so on, instead of like saying it on Teams, because it doesn't get as personal.
I think it definitely helps grow as a team. I think it's not the most important thing, but I think it helps a lot. Like I said, that isn't something that's necessarily viable for us right now, but in the future I think that's definitely something we as a team would look into.
So we lived in a team house together. We basically stole the league house for a little bit and we lived there. It was actually a lot of fun. We watched movies together after scrims, we hang out, we order food together, eat together every night. We're always like close by, but I can feel in long term there's a lack of privacy that you might need. If you live where you scrim and practice, it might be harder for you to relax and take breaks when you need to. So now we moved to apartments and I like it so far. I live together with one of my teammates. I live together with Kai Kai, Adam and Shortfall live together in their Wolf and Rib. And for me, it's much easier just coming home after scrimming. We have our designated location where we scrim, and then we go back home and you're just done for the day. You can stream from your computer at home if you want to, but your home is your home and you can relax there. I live together with my teammates, but we have like roommates and we live close in the apartments, but it's not the same thing as a team house because people generally just stay inside unless you want to go get something to eat together. But like playing as a team in a team house is an experience that I wouldn't like want to miss out on. Even though long term it might not be the best thing for some people, I feel like I really got to know all my teammates a lot better just living together with them constantly, always having them the other room over. Then apartments helps for the stress of being a professional player. You got to learn to relax, take some time for yourself and just the privacy, and apartments really help with that.
I think it can be quite dangerous because if you don't bond well with your team, like the bomb is gonna burst. Like it's not gonna end well, But if you are good friends with your team, I think it's really good. But personally, like I don't like to be like in one big gaming house because I think like everyone needs some privacy, So I think it's like the envious style of things, like having like a practice facility with own apartments. I think that's really good.
Having everyone in a one house is obviously a great thing because you're always like with each other, you're always like going to be working on the game regardless if you're not even consciously doing it. But it does create like a lot of conflicts because if you're living with the people that you're playing with, sometimes you just want to get away from the people that you're playing with. Sometimes they're always going to have those days where you get angry at the teammates and you just want that space, and just having your own personal space in general is like really important. Us as a team, we're sort of doing a half and half. All the guys with girlfriends getting apartments, but a couple of us will be like moving into the house where we'll be playing. So I think it's fine as long as you have your own personal space. Like you hear of these Korean teams where they have eight of them in one bedroom and they play for 12 hours. Like that's just something that I think is counterproductive. As much as they get to play the game and it's part of their culture, good on them, but it's something that I think is very counterproductive in my eyes.
So I think for team houses, the first thing that's important is the team actually has to get along on a personal level. Like if you're a team who you can't stand some of the people, or it's just like you're not friends with everyone on the team, I could see a team house being a little awkward and almost hurting in some way. But for like us personally, like we're all actually get along really well. We have a lot of fun on the team, and be able to like just not have to worry about other stuff and just be focused, like all of us being in the same situation and be able to focus on the same thing. It's like a boot camp. It's just an extra level of like practice that you can't get online. So I think it'll vary from team to team how much it'll help, but I can see like, definitely like in a year, especially once like the Overwatch League comes out, every team will be in one.